I'm Chef Beth, and this is Nutrition in the Kitchen. Today we're going to make easy homemade granola bars. So kids love granola bars, but really if you look at the label of most granola bars you buy in the store, the ingredients list is about this long, and there's lots of unpronounceable ingredients in them. So my recipe is really easy, and it only has 7 ingredients. It's all natural. So the first thing that you want to do is preheat your oven to 300 degrees. Then you want to grab a cookie sheet, and I like to use a silicone baking mat on my cookie sheet. If you don't have one, you can also just put some parchment paper on your cookie sheet. So that's ready to go. And I've measured my ingredients. This is 2.5 cups of old-fashioned oats and 1/4 cup of pure maple syrup, 1/4 cup of light brown sugar. This is canola oil, 1/4 cup plus 1 tablespoon. A little bit of salt, it's about 1/4 teaspoon, 2.5 teaspoons of vanilla, and these are called Marcona almonds. If you can't find Marcona almonds, you can just use regular almonds. So we want these chopped really finely. You can chop them on a cutting board using a chef's knife, but I'm just going to use my mini food processor because it's really quick. So that's a lot quicker than chopping all those almonds for sure. So in a large bowl, we're going to combine most of our ingredients. Your maple syrup goes in, your brown sugar, the vanilla extract goes right in here, the salt, and the canola oil. I'm just going to whisk this together so it's evenly mixed. Dissolve that. Okay, so now I'm going to mix in my nuts and the oats. So that goes in. Okay, I'm going to just switch to a spatula. So these granola bars, you can break them into bars and send them in kids' lunches or for snacks. But you can also break it up and maybe use it in a yogurt parfait with some yogurt and fresh berries. That would be really delicious as a breakfast or snack. And this recipe will keep in an airtight container for a couple weeks, so that's good. You don't always have to be remaking it. Okay, so basically you don't want a really wet batter. You just want all of the ingredients to be lightly moistened, and everything should be evenly combined. Okay, so everything is mixed up, and then you just pour it right onto your cookie sheet. Okay, this is called an offset spatula, and it's really useful in this recipe, but you could just use a regular spatula too. I like the metal one because it won't stick to the ingredients. So I'm just going to form a rectangle. It just takes a few minutes. I'm just going to evenly disperse all of the oats to the side. You don't have to be this precise, but when you break them apart, it kind of helps out to have a nice, even rectangle. So you don't want any kind of bald spots in here because those will burn. Just try to make it all in an even layer. We're almost ready to go. Okay, so I'm going to put this in my 300-degree oven for about 10 minutes, and then I'm going to check on it. So let's go put this in the oven. Okay, so I'm going to put this uncovered in the oven for about 10 minutes. Then I'm going to cover it with foil and cook it for another 10 to 15 minutes. Okay, so our granola has been cooking for 10 minutes, and now I'm just going to cover it with foil. Just loosely cover it, and we're going to continue cooking for about 10 more minutes. So this is the perfect color. What you want to make sure is that the edges are just a very light golden brown, And it's better to underbake it than to overbake it. So if you see the edges starting to turn darker brown, then just take it out of the oven right away. And now you just want to leave it on the counter and cool for 1 hour. Okay, so here's our pan of granola, and it's cooled for an hour. And you just want to make sure that before you start breaking it apart, it's completely cool. Now I'm just going to break it apart and put it in an airtight container. If you want to send it in your kids' lunches, you could also just wrap it in some wax paper. I bring this to parties and to play dates, and the kids always just gobble it up. And remember, there's only 7 ingredients, and it's really healthy, and it'll keep for about 2 weeks in this kind of airtight container. So I will see you next time on Nutrition in the Kitchen.